Don't go.
That is my darn theme music.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being here tonight, whether it be your first time, your last time, whether it be this time or next time in the future. Thank you for taking this time here this evening to be here with me. I am AP, your host, and this is Timeouts and Tangents. And I'm sure you all are well aware that we will be having a special guest joining us this evening in Blake from AYS. He just wrapped up his show, so we're going to give Blake a few minutes to come on and join us. But the vibes are high. It's Monday. It's cold, which is random. I guess the groundhog seeing his shadow actually did mean something, even if it wasn't for 6 weeks, 6 days, I guess. But still, I can't thank each and every single one of you enough for being here with me tonight and helping make this night possible. Wouldn't be able to do it without y'all. So just want to get to a couple of these chats here. Paul, thank you for joining. Nick, thank you for joining. Moose, what's going on, brother? Thank you for being here. My guy Pearsley, I see you, my guy. And I apologize for starting late. Blake's show ran a little bit late, and I was trying to time up the start of this one with the end of his so there wouldn't be too much of a gap. We're going to get into it a little bit when Blake comes on, but your LSU baseball Tigers are absolutely elite. This is probably the most complete LSU baseball team I have seen in a long time. You know, after the first 8 games, especially after a tournament, you typically see some holes within the lineup. And I know that they got people out here that are saying that they would like to see other frontline starters being developed for the pitching rotation. And I'm like, why and where? Your frontline starters, your weekend guys, your rotation set a strikeout record in the opening week. They haven't given up many walks. The worst inning of scoring that they had was 2 earned runs that Case and Evans had on Friday night. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Why are y'all worried about pitching? And then we got people saying that we need to be concerned with second base and third base. We should be concerned with second and third base as far as the infield is concerned. What? Did they not see Seth Dardar playing shallow right field and throwing a strike to Zach York to get an out? Do they not see the relationship that he and Milam have? And any issues that you may see from any of the third basemen playing, whether it be Tanner Reeves, Braden Simpson, whoever is over there, you're missing your starting left fielder who affects the infield too. And even the issues that you're seeing from them are small and minute. I saw a lot of posting going on this morning about and it aggravated me. I'm not gonna lie, because when it comes to baseball, I can't get as deep into the weeds as Paul and David, which is why I lean on them heavily. And they, correct me when I'm wrong. I share things with them before I make any of my feelings known publicly to make sure my head is in the right spot and I'm seeing things the way that it needs to be seen. So I know I'm not just a casual viewer of the game. I know a little bit more, but I also know I don't know as much as they do. However, the issues that people are bringing up goes exactly to what Moose says in the chat. Some folks just not happy. Like, they need to go outside and touch some grass. It's absolutely ridiculous to be sitting here complaining about a team that's 8-0 and has no holes in the lineup right now. If you can nitpick this defense, then what are we doing? I love the defense that we have. They're solid. Are they what we had last year? No, that was next level. And you had to have it last year because you couldn't hit like how this roster can. Errors and mistakes in baseball are going to happen. That's why they keep track of the stat. It's what takes place in the game. But when we sit up here and we try to pick apart a team that just ruled UCF, a team that is going to make a regional. You beat the dog crap out of Notre Dame, and you made Indiana wish Kirk Cignetti could coach baseball too. You are going to sit here and nitpick all of that? Like, cut it out. The team is good. Enjoy what you have and appreciate it. Jay is going to do things, especially pre-conference, to try to ramp this team up to see what he has before we make a run in SEC play. You're 8-0. Shut up. Chill out. Well, the moment we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, please, please, please welcome our guy, Blake Ruffino, AYS Sports. Thank you for joining, brother.
What's up, AP? How we doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's Monday, you know. The water main in New Orleans is broke right now through most of the city, so they got 15 public schools closed. Yes.
Damn.
Woke up this morning at 4 a.m. Didn't have any water to take a shower, so it was getting it how you live. But that's another day in New Orleans, man. That's
you
just how we
stank
built
right now. That's what you're saying. You stank. You stanking right now.
I should, but I know adversity.
You know adversity. I hear you.
I know how to overcome that one, brother.
Baby wipes for days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or thankfully, my auntie let me have a key to her house, so I definitely went and took a shower over there. You know,
I don't blame you.
Gotta stay.
You know, I saw something today. Somebody said, "How long? If someone gave you $100,000 a day, how long could you go without showering?" And I'm like, I'd probably get to 10 days, and just to get $1 million, just to be like, okay, well, we're financially set. Just don't be around me. You know, like why you got to be around me? You know, I mean, if somebody's going to give me $1 million, I mean, just to stank, I ain't gonna be stanking when I'm spending that money.
My guy Paul in the chat says at least 3 months. Done it before. Paul is a veteran. Paul is a former veteran. So he cut from a different cloth. He's got an unfair advantage.
Yeah, I hear
my guy Nick. This is one of my best friends. He said I can smell it from the North Shore. Screw you, buddy.
Hey man, it is what it is. But again, who's gonna laugh to the bank?
That part right there, Blake. We were supposed to get together last Monday on Lundi Gras, and I wanted to ask you, you know, Jay Johnson had to move some things around, so we have to move how the GOAT moves. But I wanted to ask you this on Monday. Who's got the best king cake in Louisiana?
I'm not necessarily a massive king cake guy.
Okay.
You know, I was more of like a chips guy. Like, so I got so fat because I ate chips. So if you had hot Cheetos, your ass was grass, okay? But so there's this place in Hammond. Now I've had a lot of king cakes, okay? But it's called Dough'licious. So shout out, this is not a paid promotion. Dough'licious Donuts. And they do a donut king cake, bro. Bruh, it ain't the same. So everybody talks about like
Randazzo's, Dong Fong.
Randazzo's. I've had them all. They're not, I'm telling you, they're not better than
Okay.
Delicious.
Okay.
It doesn't exist. So that's how do you do your king cake? Now, I did this thing last year where a dude did like a carnivore king cake. Now
Really?
that's yeah, but it just had like a lot of like kind of more of a maple taste to it, you know.
All right. Yeah, yeah.
It was
Didn't
all
do it for you.
right, you know. It
Yeah.
was all right. But I'm telling you, man, the 985. This is the most slept on thing. The 985 because so many people are from more cultured areas. Like we got to remember now, like 2.5 to 3 million people moved to the North Shore after Katrina.
Right. Right.
The 985 has some places that are slapping. Do you hear me?
Okay.
Slapping.
Put them on, Blake. Put them on.
Okay. Delicious for that king cake. And then I would say Ronnie's Boudin hot plates.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my! I know. Jon Snow's not doing the red beans anymore. They do. So I'm from Roseland, Louisiana. Okay,
Right.
population of maybe 2,000. Basically, a meat. Okay.
Paul is agreeing with you on Ronnie's.
Bro, 100%. Go on Thursdays for $11 pork steak. Shit. Can I curse on here?
Yeah, you good. Yeah.
I mean, slapping.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if people have heard of this place. It's right here down the street from me. God, what's the guy's Southern Boys Seasoning?
I'm taking a bunch of notes, Blake. You putting me on right now.
Yeah, the dude cooks an insane pastelaia. And
We're gonna have to get together and go get some then.
All right, do it. I'll be at Ronnie's. I won't eat the carbs or rice or
right.
I will eat the yams. You can have the mac and cheese and cornbread.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you. We're
going to make that happen.
Yeah, that's going to happen. Pork steak too.
The Boston in a meat, Paul
Yeah,
says.
it's okay. Yeah, I like it. I'm just not a big sushi guy.
Okay. All right. Blake, I got a question. I got a question for you. So, I've been saying to start this season, LSU's baseball team is dragging teams into deep water and seeing if they can swim.
I agree.
And they've drowned them all. And I heard Lynn Rollins over the weekend say that Seth Dardar was as hot as salsa on a sunburn.
Yeah, I don't know how he comes up with that one.
I don't know how he got that. I don't know how he got to that, but damn it, that was a line that will stick with me forever. Because first, I don't know if you can tell, I'm black. So we don't get sunburned too much. So I haven't seen, from my Caucasian friends, I have not seen one put salsa on a sunburn yet.
Now, you know these sorority girls that like to go out and get hot, and lay out all the time. They bring out chips and salsa. The thick ones bring out some chips and salsa. You know that.
The thick ones.
Yeah.
The thick ones. Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about that. But we got to give credit to Jay Johnson for scouting Dardar, recruiting him and adding him. So that leads me to ask you this. Is Jay Johnson the best coach in all of college? All sports.
That's an interesting question because I was with Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered, and I said a statement to him, is Jay Johnson the best coach in sports if he wins another national title? And because nobody outside of Gino Auriemma would have that much. I mean, I guess you could go Dawn maybe pushing that envelope.
Right.
But, I mean, what is it harder in baseball to do what he's doing?
Yes, to me.
I would agree with that, especially with where LSU's current TV revenue is certainly at, not even in the top 10. So to me, he's definitely up there. I think if he wins another one, he's definitely number one across every board and should be like, when during the offseason, who are your coaches here or there? I mean, that would be the Nick Saban level of dominance.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
And with Tony gone, I don't know if there's a lot of teams, if Jay continues to do what he's doing, I don't know if there's a lot of teams that, quite frankly, I mean, I don't. It would even be more than a Nick Saban level run because I don't think Nick won 3 in 40 years.
Me either.
I think it was 3 and 5.
And there literally is no one set up to stop him. The only way that you stop Jay Johnson is the MLB.
By yourself.
Is the MLB.
Well, that too. Or LSU gets in their own way.
And what I can say is, like, we've seen from Jay over these last 4 or 5 years from him is that you know that they're going to show up prepared.
Oh, always do.
It's not going to be a lack of preparedness that's coming from your baseball team when they step onto that diamond. And that is it's ridiculous how he's setting this thing up. And I can sit up here and like I told everybody in the show earlier, I'm not a deep baseball guy, and having followed you and watched your show, you honestly have helped me like get past just the casual fan status of understanding the game and what to look for in certain things and how to appreciate actually bunting a guy over.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I think that's the biggest thing. Another thing coming out of like this weekend as an example, AP, is that you're doing it in so many different ways. So you're not like, I guess it's like saying, like, speaking of Saban, it's like saying when they had some of the elite defenses that they had, but offensively, nobody really wanted to give them credit. Like the Lane Kiffin era of him being at Bama. Bro, they had Derrick Henry, and they were throwing the ball all over the place. Like, when you're that high level offensively, but then defensively in this scenario, they just did everything perfect or everything extremely well. You just do everything extremely well. Now, you might – like, I don't think defensively you're better than you were last year. Like, you can't replace Luis Hernandez. You can't replace Braswell at third and the things that he did. But Jay knows how to coach different teams, and that's the part of like, all right, well, this team is going to be this, so I need to react like this. Or this team is going to be really good on the mound, or they're going to be really good defensively. So I need to react like, so runs are really more at a premium. We give up a run here with this team that we currently have. They have 5 or 6 innings. Okay, well, they're definitely going to make that up. Yep. Last year, there was a more small margin of error where runs came at a massive premium in some of these big-time clutch games. Does it now? Or are you not going to be able to pitch? So those are the things, AP, that I look at that you just have, like, that you pay attention to. So the question now really becomes, are you a dynasty-level team and watching what happened with Saban play out in front of your eyes and you're taking it for granted? Or are you looking at a situation where that, yeah, maybe you fall a little bit here or there, or you get in your own way and you don't do what you need to do from a TV revenue? Like, I think of Vanderbilt as an example. Now, Vanderbilt had a little bit of an exception when they were winning, and that was the, minority scholarship situation that they put in place in reference to guys in baseball getting full rides. Well, they dominated. Like, I think of Enrique Bradfield. Yeah, he doesn't suck. I think of David Price. Well, he didn't suck. I think of Kumar Rocker that didn't suck. Well, if that guy could go back then and get a full ride, where would he go? Okay, well, that's just honestly the truth in baseball, because that's where 11.7 came in, and you only had 11.7 scholarships. So then you get to a situation, okay, I have 3 guys there. Well, they had an advantage. All Americans that had an advantage because they could get a full ride, and it goes through the school. All right. Well, now everybody gets the same amount of full scholarships, and everybody gets paid a full scholarship in college baseball now. Now it's 34. So now that the even playing field happened to Vanderbilt, well, Vanderbilt's getting eliminated in the first round. Yeah. So now for you, it's giving Jay, quite frankly, are you going to do what you need to do in men's basketball? Do you take a couple million and give it over to college or to Jay in baseball? So those are the things, AP, that you work on now that I think can prevent him from doing ultimately what he needs to do. But he had those challenges this year, and your team's won 8 straight. Well, technically 16 straight.
16 straight, right.
Right. So, I mean, they're just – look, the reason I put personally – like we could have talked about today on our show the women's basketball team blowing out Missouri. Like,
Yes.
I know everybody saw the tweet, like spinning, like
Lane
they
reposted what I said about that tweet too. That was hilarious.
I personally didn't see it. Now I need to go back and look at it.
Yeah.
But you beat that ass.
Yes.
So then now you get in a situation. The reason I put a premium on this baseball team is, man, how do you not make this a top line story? Like, I think that they're the top line story every single night because you could be watching a Jay Johnson level run. So, AP, that's a long-winded answer to a very simple question that you asked. But I think that what we've done in the past, what I feel like I'm guilty of in the past of doing is not living more in the moment. Like, not like last year. I made a big deal of Seth Dardar hitting off of Casey Evans in the relay that happened. Like, my tweet was that I had retweeted literally after the Kansas State game. And I did this minutes within us winning a national title, was when you had a Seth Dardar double in the left center field. Mm-hmm. It was Pearson to Milam to Hernandez to win it. Elite defensive play. You were the best LSU defensive team of all time that's ever been
ever been at LSU.
Ever been at LSU. The tweet I said was simple. Remember this play. This leads you to another national title win. Because in baseball, when you go through that high level of adversity, that is what the small things that you see. Would you go on to Auburn in a weekend and get swept? Welcome to college baseball. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I saw Florida lose 4 straight midweek games and play you in a national title.
Yep. Preach.
So those are the things in baseball that, like, look, man, I think you're that good again. I think you're a national title contender right now with UCLA. Like, UCLA, now, do I think Jackie Robinson Field or Stadium, whatever you want to call it, is little? Yeah.
Yes.
But Drock Chalowski is a really good baseball player. Gasparino is a really good baseball player. They have a really good pen. I mean, with all due respect, I don't mean this in any way. The Latina community has produced such a high level of high-end baseball players out of LA. Go look at their bullpen.
Yes.
When you get a second. So again, I
definitely will check them out.
Oh, man. Oh, God bless it. They're really good. They're really good. They're a really, really good baseball team.
Because I was questioning why they keep getting ranked number 1, even though they have that one loss. And that's all right.
They're that good. Yep, they're that good.
That's fair. I want to ask you this, Blake, and I want to kind of pivot to the football for a second because you cover, and I don't think a lot of people appreciate this from you.
Well, you know all the football stuff. You were at the facility this weekend.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to get to that in a second, too, because I got something I want to talk to you about after the show. I got an idea for something that I want you, myself, and Carter to collaborate on.
Okay.
But you cover cover college football from coast to coast. Yeah. A lot of people don't acknowledge that from you. You take it all the way in. When you look at this LSU roster and what they've assembled, is it fair to say that they may be contending for one of the best wide receiver and running back rooms in the country?
Could be. Now, running back, I don't know, because there's a couple of rooms around the country that are going to be really, really, really good. Like that Miami running back room is going to be disgusting. I do think that A&M's right now is better than yours.
Okay.
I don't know what Frank's going to do at Ole Miss. He still has Kawan Lacey, but I don't trust Frank Wilson as far as I can throw him.
Yeah.
But I really like the battle that's going to happen between Caden Durham and Dylan Jones. I think it's a high. Who doesn't love Latinas? No, nobody. No one never said that statement ever. I do think now that I think about it, I said Latina community, be a Latino community. Well, yes. regardless, they're more relieving pitchers in the game more than anybody. So I don't even know where I was with that.
Oh, we didn't trust Frank with the running back room.
Okay. Do I think that there could potentially be better overall running back rooms in the country better than yours? Yes. However, I don't know if there could be a more explosive wide receiver room collectively.
Yes.
It's
so
that high
deadly.
level. Yeah. Well, does Eugene Wilson stay healthy? Because
Right.
if he stays healthy and gets back to some of the things that we saw from him against first round corners, if that's your fourth guy, like AP, I mean, I had this segment last week, I think it was. Forgive me for misremembering if I am. But there was a segment that we did that there's some people in that building talking about Jabari Mack. There's some people in that building talking about Phillip Wright.
I did a show with Lon a couple weeks ago, and I told him, I said, Jabari Mack is somebody that people better pay attention to.
Yeah.
I got to watch this kid for 3 years. My son played at that in the car. So we used to go. Yeah, my son was on that state championship team with Manchild and Day Day and yeah on that 2014.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so we had to go to Destrehan and play them every year, and I got to see Jabari Mack up close. I even saw this kid return a 99-yard interception for a touchdown against Catholic from the middle linebacker position.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Kid is special.
Yeah, he's really good.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he came in there and make noise. And here's the thing that stood out to me when you really look at the wide receiver room that I don't think a lot of people talk about. The smallest guy that you brought in was Winnie Watkins at 5'11".
Right.
So not only do you have explosiveness,
they have a formula and they stick to it.
Yes, absolutely.
On the boundary too.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you think of wide receiver Ole Miss, Trey Harris. If you think of Trey Harris, if you think of Stribling, if you think of Harrison Wallace, if you think of a lot of the guys that they've had, the only small wide receiver they had was the kid that transferred from South Carolina, Juice Wells.
Juice Wells.
Yeah, Juice Wells. And he kind of flaked, but it didn't matter because they had other guys that performed like Caden Lee.
Yep.
They have a formula and they stick to it.
They know the guy that they need to run in the system that they're running. And they know how to recruit it.
And Winnie Watkins wasn't that high of a recruit, and he won the game for them at Oklahoma.
Went off.
Yep, went off
As a true freshman. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge this right now. But I will say that I am absolutely excited to see this wide receiver room come together as soon as possible, because I think it's going to be explosive, and it's going to lead to what I think can be, for Sam Leavitt, a spot in New York at the end of the season.
Could be.
Is that something? I know that you talked about it a little bit tonight, but I really feel like, looking at this schedule, if we end up 10-2, Sam stays healthy, and I got to see him, no boot on, walking fine, no hitching his giddy up. He stays healthy. We finish the season how we expect him in the playoffs. Why should he not be in New York?
The only thing that I could imagine would just be that I think that there is a potential of you having a massive quarterback class. Like, example, what if Julian Sang goes off again? What if Dante Moore goes off again? What if you have a situation, Arch? What about Hoover at Indiana? What if they're still winning? That would be the reason, is that you just get lost in the shuffle. Like, I hate to say this, I think Sorsby is going to go off and those numbers will be inflated.
Yeah.
But he's still a really freaking good quarterback. Oh, by the way, we haven't talked about Gunnar Stockton. A lot of people are down on Gunnar Stockton, but I'm old enough to remember, where he, guys, Tennessee, Ole Miss. He's the reason he carried them. A lot of times he did carry them. Does George McIntyre at Tennessee put up ridiculous numbers like those, or is it Faison Brandon? I don't know. So when I look at Sam Leavitt, do I think that there's a potential that he can be in New York? Yes. Do I think that there's a lot of quarterbacks in this upcoming class that also you can make that claim for? Like, AP, I think people are down on Arch a little too much.
Yeah, I think they're a little too down on Arch.
They're a little too down on him because, go back and watch Michigan. Go back and watch that Georgia game. He's running for his godforsaken life.
And he got better as the season went on.
He got a lot better. And so people forget, stuff about that. Does the Michigan, stay with me, does the Michigan offensive staff, what they did with Dan Pierre, Like, first off, I don't mean this in the wrong way. Dan Pierre was one of the worst decision makers in the country 2 years ago. He was god awful. I really felt like that they had he was writing in crayon when everybody was writing in $1,000 pens. Like, it was that bad. So he gets into the system a second year and goes off for Utah, and is so much better of a decision maker. I think Bryce Underwood is as talented as any quarterback in the country. By the way, I haven't hit the West Coast with Jaden Maiava.
Right.
So those are situations where I think that people thought that college football was a little down this year. I think that the potential is that I see 10 playoff teams right now can make an argument for 6 or 7 more.
Right. Absolutely. If
not more than that.
It's going to be a deep, deep year across the nation. Like, those 12 spots you're going to see more people pissed off about the expansion not taking place this season once the season finishes.
I think you're right. Which I'm not an expansionist. I'm the opposite, actually, but that's just me.
Right. Blake, Nick asked Blake, how do you think the O-line will hold up?
I don't know. That's the one thing that I just want to see. I'm not going to have any take good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah, because I need to see it.
And that's the one position. That's the one position group in football you got to see them play. You have to see them. You can't make just because you brought up. I saw a comment in the chat. I'm gonna show it to you in a second. You just because you bring up the fact that you have Jordan Seaton, you bring in Aluba, you bring in the guy from Baylor. Just because you bring these guys in, they still have to gel. And of course, you retain Braylon Moore. Do they gel? Do they take to the coaching? And do they stay healthy? Because you're not hitting as much as you used to in the offseason. It's gonna take a little minute to get in rhythm, but you got Lane Kiffin. You know they're going to run the ball. You brought back James Craig, and you have Eric Wolford. And we can trust the guys that they have in place to know that they're going to do what they need to do better than what we had the last 4 or 5 years than what we had in Brad Davis. So
I agree. That's the reason Brad's unemployed still.
And still to this day.
Yeah.
Like, the tape speaks for itself.
Yep.
I remember when Lane first got hired, you said this, and I said it myself too. Lane's going to feed some families.
Oh,
Lane Kiffin being here is going to feed some families.
Without a doubt.
And I can sense this. I don't know if you can, but the vibes just around the state and the community are absolutely high. Yeah. It feels like Louisiana itself is kind of like coming together. Why do you feel like that is taking place right now?
Because he's going everywhere. Yeah, just because he's going everywhere and showing his face. You're coming off of a coach. Look, 40 years doesn't seem like a long time in the grand scheme of things, but
that's a long time.
But it's a long time. And I think there was a lot of things plaguing Brian Kelly. Some of those things out of his complete control. However, petty or not petty, like say what Lane tweeted at the women's basketball game. Let's just say that it's petty. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. He's there.
That part.
He's there. So I think that when you had a head coach that really didn't talk to high school head coaches, thought he was above them. Well, Lane's not, and he knows where his bread's buttered. Like I envision, I have no idea if this happened. I envision Nick Saban saying, "Hey, listen, you don't have to do it often, but every quarter or every other quarter or twice a year, you need to pick up the phone and call all these local head coaches because to them." Like Bryce Brown, you talked about Carr earlier. That's a little bit different.
Right.
Like because he's producing so much. Like going and paying your respects to the Curtis family the way that you did.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Like those make sense. But then going to small remote areas. Like I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Do you realize how many coaches in North Louisiana said that not only did they not meet Brian Kelly, they never talked to him. There was never a whisper. And you're going to one of the smallest places in North Louisiana. Brother, he's showing up from there to Algiers. Yes. And that's the part where I think that when you have the local high school head coaches, like Jimbo Fisher came out. So this has nothing to do with like Lane, but Jimbo was on a podcast and talked about like what it was like being under Nick in the early part of this. And he goes, brother, we used to just call people over at St. James and be like, yo, man, everybody's talking about this kid from named Corey Webster. You ever heard of a Corey Webster or a KK Webster? I think it's how he says it. Okay. And so he's like, yeah, he's really good. No one really recruits him. He's got an offer from Louisiana Tech. He's about to sign. And then all of a sudden you sign him because you knew the local vibe. Like Louisiana is a state where if me and you right now started talking about high school football, there's always going to be that one kid. Yet everybody knows this dude. Shit, you need to be talking about this. Okay, that's just, y'all know that's how it works. It works everywhere, from Edna Carr to Captain Street.
Kennedy, to Captain Street,
Right, it doesn't matter. The way that they knew the vibe because they actually talked to him is what Jimbo was saying, that Nick had a relationship that these head coaches would pick up the phone. Coach, listen, I wouldn't call you unless it was serious. We got a kid named Corey Webster who's really freaking good. We think he's really good. Would you mind just taking a look at him? So when you refill your scouting department, so this was the thing. So it's not like people talk about like Brian Kelly firing Corey Raymond. Okay, I get it. Firing this guy, firing that guy. That's not the part where it didn't succeed to me. It was letting the guys in the back office from Louisiana who did all the dirty work for the high school and talking to high school coaches and getting that 3-star like Greedy Williams that was really good.
Yes.
Or getting Lloyd Cushenberry that was really good. It was missing on that connection. And so now that you have Jeff Martin back, now that you bring back in, or I say bring back in, but bring in Sam Petito. When you bring back in, when you keep J.R. Belton and make him an associate GM or assistant GM, those are the things I think that Brian Kelly missed on the most. So then like Sherman Wilson, who is no longer with LSU, why in the Sam hell did you move him out of recruiting?
Right.
Like, why in the Sam hell did you do that? Or why did you move JR into a different role when he's dominating? Name the person. So I think that is the more impressive thing to me of this entire high school situation. Now you got to go flip Royal. Now you got to go flip some guys. Now you got to go get some guys and bring them in. So those are the things. Do I think it's more connected now than Brian Kelly? I think that you just picking up the phone would have been more of connecting, but now you're literally showing. They're on Booger McFarland Lane.
Yes.
Okay.
And I can tell you Brian Kelly never went up there.
No, he don't know where he don't know Booger McFarland, much less know Booger McFarland Lane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, like Lane having that relationship with Bryce Brown. I can tell you, brother, I was at Edna Carr every single day. Every single practice. Never saw Brian Kelly.
That's not good.
And that is terrible. That's how Texas can make a play for Richard Anderson at the end.
Right. Or
that's how Hayward Howard Jr. ends up in Texas.
Right.
And I can tell you how that recruiting went personally. Because I'm close with him and his dad. And that's a Frank Wilson failure. That's a Frank Wilson failure to the T.
But I'm the one that hates Frank now, so be careful.
Yeah, okay. You're not alone, brother. Yeah, I know some former LSU players that have some issues with Frank Wilson. And a lot of people, and look, it's not to besmirch Frank. He's a good man overall, decent human. But he is not an LSU individual. He did not go to school here. He owes LSU no loyalties. And we gotta stop blurring that line.
And we blur that line a lot.
Right. At the end of the day, he's got a check to get. And he's gonna look out for Frank. You got a couple of questions in the chat I want you to touch on, Blake, and then I know you gotta run to tuck kids in.
9 o'clock's their bedtime, so we got some time.
Young asked Blake, how much will Lane and Charlie's play calling and Levitt's mobility offset any O-line woes?
Yeah, I think a lot. I mean, you saw him, so you know that, we've had the conversation a lot, AP, that there's a lot of people that believe that he was above schedule. I would suggest doing the reverse of what this entire fan base did for Jaden. Speaking of I talked to Jay this literally yesterday. Me and Jay were talking about hey man, it was only 4 short years ago that Jaden's coming in, and people stat watched.
Yep.
Meaning he had 10 touchdowns, he had 10 interceptions. Now, you can't find any show of mine, because it does not exist, of saying, hey, there needs to be a lot of context in this. Like, there was a lot of people who thought there was a lot of people back then thinking Miles Brennan was going to win that room.
Not and then they had some pushing Nussmeier too.
Right. Well, some in the media definitely pushing it. But you stat watched. That kid came from Arizona State. Now, they had more success than what Jaden did because of just, Herm did a lot of, when that whole recruiting thing went down, it fell downhill. So I think for him, it's the small instances like at Texas Tech. It's the small instances of a lot of these different games or against Texas that really stand out to me. And I don't know how many more woes your offensive line can take.
That part.
Yeah.
You've seen the woes of woes.
Yeah. Really bad. So is Texas A&M able to get a lot out of Tyree Adams and Cohen Eccles? Okay, well, we're really going to find out how good Brad Davis really was.
That part right there. I definitely want to get to these next two.
Okay.
David asks, do we expect Ty Benefield to have the same sort of impact as A.J. Halsey, or do you see him actually taking it a little bit further than what Halsey did?
That's my hot take of the offseason. I think that he will. I think people need to go watch the Penn State game versus Boise in the playoff. I think that there are just a lot of games that I thought – he had 107 tackles, guys.
As a safety.
And it's not like that they stunk. It's not like Boise State stunk. He's just all over the field. I would say that A.J. Halsey and him's a bad comp, okay? So I kind of let that one slide. My question is he going to be more productive than Harold Perkins was? In that star role. Because that's where I think he ultimately is going to end up. Because you want Deshaun Spears on the field. You want Tamarcus Cooley on the field. Because he's really your nickel, right? He's your nickel. Right. So where do you want Ty Benefield? I hope it's in that star role.
I want him closer to the box. I want him wrecking havoc.
Yeah, the Air Force game, he killed people. He reminded me of Brian Dawkins was my take, the way that he hit him.
That's
hit people.
Great comp.
Yep. That's a Hall of Famer we're talking about. So
yeah, but
AJ was a lot different. AJ's instinctive stuff, yes, in the run game, was way more instinctive for a 220-pound guy through the air.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's Ty Benefield. I just think it's two completely different players. I think I'm having a better coverage guy who can actually run, which legitimately is the star role, which is you couldn't keep, and everybody hated or loved Perk, whatever. I just think that it's going to be that much more productive in how they utilize him. He's my sleeper in all of college football, to be blunt. How about this? I don't think there's a bigger defensive piece that you brought in. Maybe Principal I'm yelling, but I don't know if there's a bigger one.
I like it. I'm not against it at all.
Yep, he's really good.
Paul asked this right here. Could Trey Green have a shot at New York? He has the most untapped potential on this roster, and can Lane and Charlie unleash his full potential and give him a shot in New York?
I'm going to say no. He doesn't really have a shot because he's not going to have as many catches as Jeremiah Smith. He's not going to have as many touchdowns probably. Probably not. No.
Yeah, and I agree. We have like the pitching staff at LSU, the ball catchers on the football field are plentiful. There's only one football, and you can only get around. So will he be known as one of the highest rated pass catchers coming out in the draft? Yes. But to say that you're going to have a shot at New York, the Heisman, especially for a non-quarterback player, it's very, very, very hard.
Well, and the quarterback room that will be this year. Here's what I look at. Brock Bowers, but Brock didn't play 15 games like he did his first 2 years, so it's kind of you can't go off of that. But Brock Bowers was the best tight end in college football in 2022, and I get Georgia didn't throw the ball like Lane does. He never eclipsed 1,000 yards.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nick, last one, and we'll wrap it up here. Nick asks, "Why are people high on the Auburn D-line transfer? I haven't seen anything exciting about him yet, but I hear things about Don McKinley needing to step it up."
Well, Dom's got to step it up because he's got more production than Dom, and
Yes.
he was a rotational player.
That part. That's the part right there.
Yeah.
And that answers it right there. You're leaning on Don McKinley as a starter, but you have a guy that was a situational starter, a piece of a puzzle, and not the guy proving stats and making impact plays on a defense in a limited amount of snaps
In the SEC.
in the SEC on a
Against
team
the
that was
hard-
bad. And,
Yeah.
and Auburn's defense was good. They had to make those plays. Everybody stepping on that field had to step up and be an impact player. They didn't have time for people to just be slacking on at any position in that group.
No doubt.
Well, look, guys, Blake's got to tuck the kids in, and we got to wrap things up tonight. I definitely want to thank all of y'all for being here. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure if you're not subscribed to AYS, you do so. You go join the membership so you can get that membership content, and go buy your merch. I ordered my whole visor.
I appreciate it. Oh, okay.
I ordered my whole visor. It's on the way.
I'm actually to sign that thing now.
No, yeah. Look.
From one hoe to another. Get him to sign it from one hoe to another.
From one hoe to another. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, look, we're definitely gonna wrap this up. Let me hit this outro, and I want to holler at you real quick, Blake.
Okay.
Good night, y'all. Love y'all.